In the summer of 1977, two boys were playing in their backyard in Lawndale, Illinois, when the sky suddenly went dark. Their mother heard screaming and ran outside, just in time to see her 10-year-old son, Marlon Lowe, lifted 6 feet off the ground by something that shouldn't exist. A massive bird, black as midnight, with a wingspan that blocked out the sun, had grabbed the boy in its talons. She watched in horror as this creature carried her child across the yard, 20 feet, 30 feet, struggling to gain altitude with its human prey. Marlon was kicking and screaming, looking down at the ground that was getting further and further away. And then, for reasons no one can explain, the bird simply let go. Marlon crashed to the ground, bruised and terrified, but alive. When police arrived, they found deep talon marks on his shirt. Multiple witnesses described the same thing, a bird far too large to exist, but the wingspan they estimated at over 10 feet. The encounter made national news, but what most people don't know is that this wasn't an isolated incident. Something has been hunting in American skies for centuries, something that native tribes warned us about long before we ever listened. And according to dozens of witnesses across the country, it's still out there, still watching, still hunting. Welcome to the Hidden Archive. My name is Fernanda, and today we are uncovering one of the most terrifying legends ever recorded. A creature so massive, so powerful, that it was worshipped as a god, feared as a demon, and according to some, still soars to storm clouds looking for prey. To understand the Thunderbird, you first need to understand what witnesses actually describe when they see one. This isn't some oversized eagle or misidentified condor. People who encounter Thunderbirds describe something that defies everything we know about biology and physics. Imagine standing in an open field when the air suddenly goes cold. The wind picks up, but there's no storm on the horizon. Just a strange electric feeling that makes the hair on your arms stand up. Then you see it. A shadow passes overhead, but it's wrong. Too big, too slow. You look up, and there it is, a bird with a wingspan that stretches 15, 20, sometimes even 25 feet across. For perspective, that's wider than most single-lane roads. Its body is massive, barrel-chested like a grizzly bear, covered in feathers so dark they seem to absorb light. Some witnesses say the feathers have an iridescent quality, catching colors that don't quite look natural: deep purples, midnight blues, oil-slick greens. The head is what people remember most, not because it's beautiful, but because it's terrifying. A hooked beak, thick as a man's arm, designed to tear through flesh and bone. Eyes that glow. Some say yellow like a wolf. Others describe them as red, burning with an intelligence that feels almost human. When a Thunderbird looks at you, witnesses say you feel it, not just see it, feel it, like you're being judged, measured, hunted. But here's what makes the Thunderbird truly otherworldly: the sound. Witnesses describe a deep, resonating call that sounds like rolling thunder mixed with the scream of a raptor. It vibrates in your chest, rattles your bones, and triggers something primal in your brain that screams one word: run. For Native American tribes across the continent, the Thunderbird wasn't just a legend, it was real. The Lakota, Ojibwe, Menominee, Algonquin, and dozens of other tribes all have their own accounts, but the core descriptions remain eerily consistent. They described it as a sacred creature, a messenger of the Great Spirit, capable of creating storms with the flapping of its wings and hurling lightning from its eyes. Thunder, they said, was the sound of the Thunderbird's wings beating across the sky. But not all tribes saw it as benevolent. Some believed the Thunderbird was a predator, a creature that hunted humans, especially children, carrying them away to mountain nests that no one ever returned from. In Pacific Northwest tribes, stories tell of thunderbirds battling killer whales in the ocean, grasping them in their talons and lifting them into the sky. If a creature that massive truly existed, it would be the apex predator of the entire continent. And here's the disturbing part. Many of these tribes didn't speak of the thunderbird in past tense. They spoke as if it still existed, still flew during storms, still watched from mountain peaks. Elders would warn children not to wander alone during thunderstorms, not because of lightning, but because of what rode the lightning. So the question becomes, were these just stories meant to teach respect for nature? Or were they warnings passed down from people who had actually seen something in the sky that we've simply forgotten how to look for? Let's talk about the encounters, the ones that can't be easily dismissed. The most famous historical account comes from April 1890 in the Arizona desert. Two cowboys riding through the mountains claimed they shot and killed a massive winged creature that matched no known species. According to the story, published in the Tombstone Epitaph newspaper, the creature had a wingspan of over 160 feet, smooth skin, featherless wings like a bat, and a long, serpentine body. They allegedly dragged the carcass back to town and pinned its wings out on a barn. The story even claimed a photograph was taken. To this day, people search for that photograph. Some claim they've seen it, a blurry image of cowboys standing next to an impossibly large bird carcass pinned to a wall. But whenever someone tries to find the original, it vanishes. No archive has it, no library, no historical society. It's as if the photo exists only in people's memories. Some researchers believe this is an example of the Mandela effect, a collective false memory, but others believe something stranger, that the photograph was deliberately erased, hidden, or destroyed by someone who didn't want the world to know what was really flying over the American frontier. Fast forward to 1948. World War II has just ended, and America is entering a strange new era of UFO sightings and unexplained phenomena. In that same year, multiple witnesses in Illinois report seeing a massive bird, far larger than any eagle, soaring above rural farmland. One farmer, a man with no reason to lie or seek attention, describes watching a bird with a wingspan of over 12 feet land briefly in his fields before taking off again. He says the thing moved with a weight and power that felt prehistoric, like watching something that had survived extinction. Then we come back to the Lawndale, Illinois incident in 1977, the one we opened with. Marlon Lowe's encounter was witnessed by multiple people, including his mother, his friends, and neighbors. These weren't unreliable witnesses. They were ordinary people living ordinary lives who saw something that shouldn't exist. Marlon himself, now an adult, has never wavered from his story. He says he can still remember looking down as the ground got further away, feeling the pressure of talons gripping his shoulders and the sheer terror of knowing that whatever had him was strong enough to carry him away. After the Lawndale incident made the news, more reports started flooding in. People who had kept quiet out of fear of ridicule suddenly felt safe enough to come forward. A truck driver in Pennsylvania reported seeing a bird the size of a small airplane crossing over the highway at dusk. A hiker in the Appalachian Mountains described watching a massive black bird with a white ring around its neck perched on a rock outcrop, staring directly at him. He said the moment he made eye contact, the bird let out a scream that echoed through the mountains, then took off, and he swears the air temperature dropped 10 degrees in an instant. In 2001, residents of southwest Pennsylvania experienced a wave of Thunderbird sightings. Witnesses described a bird with a wingspan between 10 and 15 feet, flying low over suburban neighborhoods. One witness, a man driving home from work, said the creature flew directly over his car and he could see every detail. Massive talons tucked against its body, feathers that looked almost reptilian, and eyes that glowed faintly in the twilight. He said the thing moved in complete silence until it flapped its wings once, and the sound was like a gunshot echoing through the trees. What makes these accounts even more unsettling is the pattern. Thunderbirds are almost always reported near bodies of water, near mountains, or just before storms. It's as if they're drawn to places of raw natural power, or perhaps they bring that power with them. So what are we actually dealing with here? If Thunderbirds are real, what are they? The first theory is the most grounded. These could be surviving megafauna, prehistoric creatures that somehow avoided extinction. There are species of birds from the Pleistocene era, like Pterotornis, that had a wingspan of up to 12 feet. These were real, documented creatures that lived alongside early humans. Is it possible that some populations survived in remote mountain ranges or deep forests, only occasionally venturing into human territories? History has shown us that animals we thought were extinct, like the coelacanth, can reappear. But a bird this large would need vast hunting grounds, and in the modern world, it's hard to imagine how something that massive could remain hidden. The second theory gets stranger. What if Thunderbirds aren't biological at all? What if they're spiritual entities, tulpas, or manifestations of natural forces? Native American lore often described the Thunderbird not as a physical creature, but as a spirit, a being that existed between worlds. In this interpretation, Thunderbirds appear during storms because they are the storm. They're not hunting for food, they're maintaining balance, punishing those who disrespect nature, or serving as omens of disaster. This would explain why they're so rarely seen, why they appear and vanish without a trace, and why photographs and physical evidence seem to slip through our fingers like smoke. And then there's the most unsettling theory of all: interdimensional beings. What if Thunderbirds don't live in our world full-time? What if they slip in and out, using storms and electromagnetic disturbances as doorways? This would explain their sudden appearances, their unnatural features, and the strange effects witnesses describe: the drop in temperature, the feeling of being watched, the sense that reality itself feels wrong when they're near. It sounds insane, but when you look at the sheer number of sightings across centuries and continents, all describing the same impossible creature, you have to wonder, what if they're all seeing the same thing? And what if that thing doesn't follow the rules we think govern reality? So here's the question that should keep you up at night. Are Thunderbirds still out there? Think about it. The world is massive, and there are still places, deep mountain ranges, vast stretches of wilderness, areas so remote that no human has ever set foot there, where something could exist undetected. And if Thunderbirds are as intelligent as witnesses suggest, if they truly have the ability to sense danger and avoid humans, then maybe they've simply learned to stay hidden. Maybe they watch us from storm clouds, from mountain peaks, from the shadows of forests, and only occasionally, when the conditions are just right, do they reveal themselves. Or maybe, and this is the thought that I can't shake, maybe they never left. Maybe we just stopped looking up. The next time you're outside during a storm, when the sky goes dark and the air feels heavy with electricity, take a moment. Look up. Really look. Because somewhere in those clouds, between the flashes of lightning and the rolling thunder, something might be looking back. If this story sent a chill down your spine, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the Hidden Archive. We dive deep into the mysteries that most people are too afraid to talk about, the legends that refuse to die, and the encounters that science can't explain. Check out our other videos if you want to go further down the rabbit hole. And remember, some legends exist because they're true. Some creatures survive because we've forgotten how to see them. Stay curious, stay alert, and whatever you do, don't ignore the thunder. Until next time.